lock-in issues right now, so about to go live once I'm done logging in. YouTube, like, since you don't stream all the time now, we're just gonna give you a massive hard time. Bro, what the fuck? Alright, I think we're almost here. Might as well just keep this. Let me see. Let's see if it lets me comment. Doo-doo. Alright, let me see. Shit looks like it's going on. outs to all those that are hanging out with me currently. Let me just get this. Everything right? I mean, everything's pretty much right now. What's not right? A few minutes ago, sheesh, I didn't have my set up, but I think I'm at the end. I'm at the end of this MacBook. It was a joke in the very beginning of the year, 2 years ago, but yeah, we're probably moving to the PC, because it's way better, and my Mac is not an M series, so I guess my shit down bad now. Yeah, shit's down bad. But it's been a good run. What's up, world? What's up, cyberspace? How's it going, internet land? This your boy, Crypto Bruh, aka More World Peace, the DJ / producer. Coming back again with another video. It is bright AF over on this side of town. So let me just switch my hair up so that I don't fade away. But it's October 11th, 2024. 3 days after Genesis 2 has occurred, and yeah, man, everything is kind of still going according to plan. So let's just jump into it, because it's been over 14 minutes of just straight up music playing. At least, I made that beat though. If you fuck with the beat, let me know. I'm probably gonna release it soon, as I always say. But yeah, it's kind of cool though, making art and then holding on to it for as long as you can, and then with the idea I'm gonna come out with this, kind of keeps that energy with it while you don't release it. So just keep saying you're gonna come out with something that you're not gonna ever release. Maybe it will one day. But yeah, man, today is October 11th. I just wanted to jump on because the weekend's upon us, and I'm only streaming once or twice a week nowadays. Maybe I'll start streaming on Saturdays if it makes sense. But yeah, who am I? I'm nobody, So, but we'll talk about Zen in a second. I just got to relate the traditional markets to my Zen theses, because we are literally living on the backs of the people who came before us. So you had to, think that this particular market isn't going to interfere the Zen world. Is kind of ignorant, as well as to not relate the Bitcoin to the dollar, and stay real with this ideology that the dollar is kind of phasing itself out, but it is an important piece of physical world. People don't know what crypto is, they know what the dollar is, so the dollar still has advantage over Bitcoin in today's scenario. And that's why, again, Bitcoin has an advantage over the overall market, and whatever it's doing, others tend to do it. You'll hear everybody say that's in the cryptocurrency. Me currently, I'm starting to have this notion where I do think Bitcoin affects behavior more than it affects the overall market. So again, there's a lot of people who believe that if Bitcoin isn't going up, that they shouldn't be bullish or positive on their extra coins or their altcoins, as some would say. I think we're moving into a future where altcoins are taking on a new type of responsibility to kind of keep afloat the industry while there's a lot of boring times. So I still think we're in a boring time. Bitcoin's not really doing much, and it dumped a lot yesterday, but it's pumping pretty hard today. And what we would want to see is Bitcoin get above this 200 here at $63,000 and $63,447. If we can see it get above that and continue, then it's super bullish. But while Bitcoin's under this 200, I think you can't get too bullish on Bitcoin breaking out right now, because it's in a good range for people who are making money off of the trades. So Bitcoin, it can go as low as 51,000, but when you zoom out on the weekly, that's where it's super bearish. On the weekly, we got the 200 coming in at 39,000. We can see here on the RSI, Bitcoin is under a downtrend from the past, right? It's already had its special rally, which is in March, and we're heading into the fall. right? I mean, we're already in it, but we're like heading into it because it's getting ready to become winter the further we go into the fall, right? So it's only going to get colder. It's only going to get more depressing, in my opinion. But not really, you know, it's just like marketing bullshit. And that's why, again, I think this is a great time for Bitcoin to continue to pull back. And numerous times before, it's been the same thing. Like, we're looking at the weekly right now. If we zoom out on the monthly and we just look at Bitcoin, we had like a giant rally in 23 to get to this area. And that's kind of why, again, I don't really see this happening this time around. Like, I think this was pricing in today's speculation, essentially. And we can see here back in 2020, it was the same concept. So in the same concept in 2020, it ran up. But then you go to 21, and all summer it was down, right? Starting here from the end of 21 going to 22, where everyone was really bullish, and it just fucking fell. So this is why I'm not thinking that this is like a time for like Bitcoin to crash, because we're definitely not like crash mode. Like, the world is crashing out right now. The dollar is crashing out. But with that is how people make money. They make money off people crashing out. So I think it's positive that the dollar and Bitcoin are both crashing at the same time, because that's, in my opinion, more proof that they'll be linked together when all the dust clears and like this new form of currency is really ushered to the masses. Because right now it's like an IQ test, but only if you have money. But if you have no money, you can work for the chain. You know, you can spend all day on the blockchain trading coins and doing all that shit. You can mine. You know, you can really become part of the industry right now. This is kind of being promoted, I feel like, almost at this point, where it's like, yo, join something. Even down to like Murad talking about all like crypto token memes, right? And like really putting emphasis that it's like okay that they're cults. And like now almost essentially brainwashing everyone to believe this, because it's such a low level of explanation for all to understand. Like, everybody knows what a cult is. You could be dumb as a rock and you will know what a cult is. Maybe if you're like, you know, like, that's what I mean. You gotta be like something else to like not know what the word cult means. You feel me? So Murad bringing it all the way down to the soil now has everyone talking about it. Now has everyone promoting their token as a meme, as a cult. What is more culty? You know, I'm literally trolling this right now, and I had like posted on my X account. I was like, yo, XEN is way more culty than Zen. If like this is a cult battle, you know, who's got the darkest cult, whatever the fuck this shit means now. But this is where I'm at with the crypto world. Like, we don't have any substance or sovereignty currently, and it's all over the place. It's not all in unison, but there's a lot of infra that's is built already. So we're like in a good place for like this real good confusion. Like, I've never really been here before. So I'm having a fun time watching the bear and bull like conversation while like, again, like Zen builds X1, right? The title of this video literally is X1 will be the least noisiest blockchain ever. And it's mainly because it won't have this world I'm talking about, this classic world shit. Well, there'll be like people who have this world in X1 where they're, you know, hyper focused on charts, you know, trying to beat the next person, their neighbor or whatever, like, you know, constant run world. But I think really the root of X1 will be the infra, and it's going to be like the best version of crypto's infrastructure. Infra means infrastructure. So when you see that out there, because they've like shortened it down, infra just means infrastructure. And in the traditional crypto world, that's what we use Bitcoin as. Like, this is our main infrastructure coin. Like, this tells the world there's another world behind this object, right? And that's why, again, it's easy to build these narratives on top of Bitcoin that without its success, nothing else can be successful, you know. And it's also like, again, it's the gate. It's the thing that Coinbase has, Gemini's has, you know, everybody has the Bitcoin. And then so falls those in relation to it, such as the Ethereums, right? You got your Solanas, right? You got your Shibas. Another meme potentially looking like it's ready to rock. And that's why too, yo, I'm not hating on the whole it's a cult thing. It's just very amazing to see it come to fruition. And like now it's like, okay, that meta really hit off. Like, holy shit, did that meta hit off? And is it attractable? So now it's like, that's always probably been a thing, you know, and it's something now everyone's going to pay attention to. Like another like rule to the game that's like now on the rule sheet. Like, it used to be in the background, now it's out. So I'm not afraid for all these cryptos to explode. Like, anything that's a meme should do well, especially if it has a good community behind it and a bunch of people are pushing it. They're going to even probably push Bitcoin as a meme by the time, you know, we really get NASDAQ online. And that's kind of why, again, I think it's bullish to be behind tokens that are not trying to be a meme. You know, like Solana. Like, Solana as a whole is not a meme, but Solana supports a lot of memes. Solana supports a lot of ideology, right? Memes are almost like comic books too. It's like you can release as many of these as you like, and it's up to you to build a cult to follow your comic. So yeah, Solana did it, I think, correct. Like, instead of embracing memes, they invited memes, and now everybody thinks that's the meta. That's why you have Tron currently pushing, because Justin Sun is slowly catching up to, okay, maybe I should invite instead of push memes. And now you're seeing more people talk about Tron instead of just Justin Sun. So Tron is moving too. This is crazy. Boom. Classic. We got Bitcoin Cash doing nothing. Classic world. But yeah, so what about Avalanche? Avalanche is trying to do something, man. And we're looking at the monthly too. So this is where I'm at with it. I think if October is the one, then that's where we're going to see it start to head out of here. But most Octobers are not the ones. I mean, that's what they say. I don't really know how to explain it. It's already happened. It happened last year. Last year was Uptober, not this year. Everybody knows about it. That's another thing too. It's like, how can we go up when everybody thinks we're going up? That's not how the world works. The world always does the opposite of what everybody believes. And this is kind of why, again, being in the Zen world and kind of disconnected from all of that makes it even more interesting to like pay attention to it, because it's like, oh, okay, we're building this world that's going to be the least amount of noise. Right now, crypto noisy as hell, because everybody, like I said, everyone's trying to figure out where the memes are, where the cults are. You know, I got to find that. That's the tune. But Zen is a fat meme, just like I just said. Like, Bitcoin eventually will probably pick it up too, and ordinals will pick up again, and you'll get it, you know, going again, all off the base of the meme. But again, like, where do people look for utility in the meme? Like, how does that meta bring in more capital than just we are a meme? And this is why, again, I think X1 will be the least noisiest blockchain with the most amount of activity, because of this like yin and yang that lives in its culture and its meme overall. Because Zen is one of the biggest memes because it goes down forever, right? Like, let's go to the monthly on this bad boy. So Zen has never had a positive, I mean, it had some positive months, but at this point in time, why are you even making Zen? Why are you even here? You know, why am I still here? Why is there a few people still checking in, right? Why are there still haters hating the obvious at this point? You know, it's like, literally, it's like, yo, it's dead. We know, we're like, beat the dead horse to oblivion, and we're still beating it. Like, all of the jokes need to get, you know, darker, but At that point, it's just like, yo, bro, you're poor. Like, don't you see you're poor? All your money's gone. But I think that's the best part about Zen, again, is the meme is some people did make money off of it. Some people believe they're going to make something out of it. Like the speculation of something is going to happen. And then you got X1, again, the least noisiest blockchain, because people are going to burn their Zen for XN. And that's a one-way ticket. Either they're going to burn and sell, or they're going to burn, hold, and participate in the next meme called blockchain. But yeah, a lot of that speculation, again, is what's holding up the price. Every single Zen hasn't fallen off yet. They've seen some downs, but they haven't seen a rug. Like even P.o.P Zen, I've been waiting to see it rug. Like I've been waiting for someone to show up, unstake, and just rug it. But instead, it's a very small group playing this game. Very, very small group. So they're not dumping on each other because they know that that's all they got, right? Same, or what I mean by that is it's harder to dump on your fellow neighbor because they're just going to pick up your coins. So you're in this weird position where you kind of have to hold them or play a long-term game. And that's why, again, the meme is funny in Zen because you're holding for no reason. Like you can literally sell and go to anywhere else and make money like you say you want to do. But in Zen, you just, why the fuck are you holding these coins? Like unless you believe in X1, or unless you're speculating towards X1, which is the meme. And that's why, once it's burned, you burn the meme. We get this new blockchain. It's less noisy. People are hyper focused on staking, building infra, right? Just like Solana. So now XN can either blossom in this new form of internet currency, or it can blossom in the meme where it's like, hey, everybody just burned for this airdrop coin, right? Which is most tokens out right now. Every token out right now is a fucking airdrop or a meme. There's some super high level crypto collaboration here. Yo, what's up, Simple? Tech Choice Limited. What's up, dude? What's up, CyberX? What up, Sixer? Rolando Dank in the house. Bro, Zen is dead. See, that's what I'm saying. What up, Tech Choice Limited? Bro, Titan X is killing it big time, making millions. Thank you for being my subject matter for this one. So this is where I'm at with shout outs to the chat, this theory on Zen. It's actually gonna be way bigger than everything because the noise is exactly what Tech Choice Limited just put in the chat. The noise is bringing yourself or your voice somewhere else and then promoting something because you believe in it in the ether. That meta is dead. That's what's dead. It's not that Zen is dead. It's that Zen is showing you that the meta is dead. The meme is alive. It's crazy. Murat, it's Murat brought it down to the soil. Hella people didn't understand memes. Now all of a sudden everyone could just say, oh, it's a cult. And it'd be okay. Back in the day though, cults were not good, right? You rewind time in crypto and the last thing you wanted to be was in a cult. That's XRP. You want to be in a cult, why didn't you just get into XRP? Oh, it looks like XRP just chose the wrong time to use cult as a fashion of getting an army in. Building a community is definitely meta in its own instance, and that's why, again, there's I think classic ways of doing it, but then there's this futuristic way that's constantly building. That's what we're constantly building on, where this constant of how do we make it better? How do we move this this object through space and time or through whatever the fuck we're moving through? How do we move that and keep it less noisy? It'll get really staticky and then we'll peel all these layers off of it and then it'll get really, really quiet. And it's, I think that's the best experience of Zen and why it's amazing Zen is dead. Because now there's not that many people around. 30 makers on P.o.P Zen, go get everything. It's $8,000. You got $10,000. The fuck? You can take the whole motherfucking pot right now. It ain't that expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like the noise is all gone, bro. Like I've been on CBs and today I'm just over here. I mean, I shouldn't be streaming it. Like whatever. Yeah, dude, I'm buying my little bag back, you know, just buying it back slowly, doing little buys, you know, watching everybody watch, you know, everything else. Tell me I need to go over here, man. Look at these things, you know. I'm just chilling like, nah, this is it. There's no other project in crypto right now that you can with confidence say this is it. They are chasing a carrot. That game is dead. BlackRock bought all the Bitcoins. The concept of chasing carrots, you're better off like going and working in banking right now and just like waiting for crypto to flip in and then just releasing all your knowledge. Your ROI would be 10 times higher than flipping the blockchain like every single day in hopes that like you make the ultimate flip. Like this is a roulette game more than it is like a stable game. And that's why too, it's like, yo, people who really bout it are moving into exchanges because that's where the fees are. So exchanges are blowing up now because it's going to be where you pay, you going to leave behind your fee. Everyone in this whole space has taken the fucking giant blue pill. Thought they red pilled themselves. All y'all motherfuckers took the blue chips. And now look at you paying high ass fees. So, again, this is why I think it's going to be really cool to be in the Zen world because you're going to understand how to navigate fees because you get it now. Like you on all the chains, you're going to move into X1 chain that will have one of the best fee structures for what is crypto. It's an in-game type shit. Like if this fee structure doesn't work, I would love to see who's going to make a better one. Like Solana doesn't even have it. Like Solana doesn't have priority fees. You have to give it an option, which is kind of cool about Solana. Solana gives options to developers and users. So then that way it doesn't put all of the pressure on the foundation to create these options. Right? That's like the problem with Ethereum right now is everyone's waiting for an EIP before they start new innovation. Right? That's the problem with Bitcoin. You can't push BIP 420 because the whole fucking Bitcoin network has to agree on it and push the upgrade through. So you need to be like a Wei Dai type motherfucker to even get anyone to rally behind you. Peter Todd type motherfucker. You feel me? Like that's a whole other game, bro. That's why I'm hyped about the Zen world because we're doing it again. All the signs are there. All the numbers are there too. So I think it's like, again, something very relaxing, not noisy. Can just mine it. Can just use it. Right? Use it could be burn it. And when I first started Zen, there was people who were telling me not to burn my Zen. And I was like so caught up like on the fast life, I guess, in Zen or in crypto where I was like, I need to burn. And I was in DXN. Like a lot of people followed me from the DXN concept. Right. And I learned so much about who I want to be. Because I have never seen the DXN win was insanity, but it was all dashboard money. So I learned a lot about being a dashboard motherfucker, and I do not want to be one of those again. So I'm going through it right now. And the chart is my going through it. And again, some people can say like, bro, that shit is dead, but I think that's part of the journey. I think until you ride a dead chart, you really don't know what it is for something to be dead. You're just like kind of like speaking out of your ass, you know, or trying to make yourself, or you're feeding the ego type shit. Like, like, cause you don't know, like you've never ridden anything to zero. You know, that's why almost in a sense, it's a blessing in its own to like be able to like ride Zen to zero, like all the way with no pumpamentals built into the system. Because then this is going to really release it to the whatever the fuck it's moving towards. Right. And it's an 8-year ride, so it's not over. That's why buying Zen today is all speculation. Like, if you put any sort of extra crypto into buying this shit, you are fucking weird. Like, you should, but you must know something others don't know, right? I bought some today. That's why I was like, why'd you buy some crypto, bro? Because I want a bigger position, something that's crazy. But I've done the math multiple times, and it would take over 400 days for me to build position, which I could just beat everybody that has to have that same story, because all come to the same conclusion in Zen. It's so fair. All come to the same conclusion. Some front run, but we all catch up eventually. And then when those that are like the most seasoned are all at the like same plateau, we all congregate and we notice like, okay, really there's no extra, like, you can't go anywhere. Like, you're just at the top. Feel me? Like, the only way to go up is to continue to stack the Zen coins and wait for the moment when X1 comes out and you can make your next, decision. Like, do you want to be the person that's hodling every fucking Zen coin on one sub? Or do you want to be someone who has the ability to burn and set the bar for what everyone has to do after you? Right? Because that's where I'm at with my hodl. And why, again, I think of everything else as fucking noise at this point. Like, it's never going to really hit me on what I should do when someone says that to me in Zen, because I am already knowing what is the right thing to progress into, right? Like, there's not many projects in crypto that are expanding beyond that. Everything else in the space is pretty much financially driven. So you can never get beyond the greed pushing or shilling a Bitcoin, an Ethereum, a Solana, a BNB, a USDC. All of these are tainted with the concept of their digital money, or there's something, it's coming from that, like, that classic reality. And this is why, again, we're so fucking early on Zen, because it hasn't gotten to its moment of realization. Like, I had seen that Jack had posted today, bro. Like, I guess he posted a heartbreaker. I guess it'd be a heartbreaker for those that are not synced. XEN. I red pilled that motherfucker. What's up, Frankie? XEN is where it's at, though. That's the next thing. That's why, like, again, like, if it's like, yo, if you really think that a meme is gonna rock, like, if that's like the quota, like, on the space, like, imagine XEN when everyone's like it's built into it already. It's the heart of X1 chain. Like, it's the only spot where you can flip the coin directly into XEN or XEN. Everywhere else you have to pay a certain, like, fee, like a gas. Like, if you take your Zen and you go into XEN, you have to pay a fee on that chain to utilize the chain as like a portal to the next world, right? It's like, buying a plane ticket. Like, you got to go to that airport. That's why I like Base Train, a nice ass airport with affordable flights. I'll land in ETH sometimes over in Dubai, man. They got too many restrictions, so I gotta go on my own time. But yeah, over on Base Chain, fees are nice, but that's what I'm saying. On XEN, you don't really pay fees. You essentially turn fiat into XEN, and then you can always transform your XEN into XN coins. So you can skip the portal of crypto, or like the almost like the portal of whatever it is, like how I really do not like Ethereum at this point, because the gas fees are just so unpredictable, and we're moving again towards this fast-paced crypto world where we don't need friction from how do I surf, right? It should just be go surf. And I think that's how I think that's hopefully what Jack's end goal is with X1, because he's going to build the biggest dApp for X1. It's not going to be one of us. You feel me? Like, this is a chain for whatever he's thought in his mind. We just all happen to be able to reap the benefits as it's rolled out. And, like, if you've ever been first to anything in crypto, like, that's why you don't want to miss out whatever he's building, because it's already crazy. like it's already nuts. So how could it not even get more intense, like as we continue down this decentralized path, right? Where again, our object is to include the masses and lower the barrier of entry in every piece of what is cryptocurrency. Comes in many different angles if you do the research. Like that's why, again, I think we will have the least amount of noise, and that's why people will understand it the most. Hopefully that makes some sense to you too. Like right now we at the bottom, bro. The class is fucking over, and it's just those that like the subject still in the seats. It is really, really hard to find projects like that. Sometimes you go to like an ADA one and you just walk in and you're like, damn, what the fuck? And we have like the flavor, we have the juice. That's why we have still haters around, because they gotta come in and stir us up. I've noticed that in the telegrams. Our telegrams are starting to die in chat because we are beyond the speculation, and now everyone is in the motion. So like the motion is I'm building a validator, or the motion is I'm hitting a goal, because I already, the halving is going to happen again next year in XEN. And then again with Zen will be 3 next year. So who cares? 8 is what we're looking at. The fibs. And again, that's why it's like, it's super not noisy. Right? Like if your life, I mean, it's pretty like something like that too. Like it's like, imagine if your life really was scheduled based. Like I honestly think that's one of the hottest designs in Zen. I said that once before, that like being included in someone's calendar is kind of like some crazy magic. Because now they're like waking up and they're like, I need to get my Zen mint, or I'm gonna put a mint around December 25th and things like that. So I really do think creating a cryptocurrency around calendar based actions in reality is an extremely smart idea if you're trying to become something big like a Bitcoin. Because if you don't have yourself built into everyday life, then no one or everyone's going to forget about you, right? And if you don't have a simple way of doing it, just like Bitcoin, right? It was a mining schedule that got people hooked, right? The halvening every 4 years, a very long process. In Zen, we just do every day because the AMP is based on every day. And there's been many things like this, but in Zen, it's forever. Every day you can set up a mint forever once the project was released. And again, since it has no VCs, it has no direction of authority. Most projects have a direction of authority, so they still want to limit how people even get into the governance because they have a direction that they want you to be part of, right? In Zen, it is free. It is as wild as a flower in a fucking field. That's why it's boring. That's why that's why people can hate on it, and that's why it's the scariest crypto once introduced to someone who's looking for this. Who's gone through the shits and they're like, man, I wish I could just find a coin that I could just get in. Right? I think Zen has battle tested itself to be proven that this is something you even can build on for your calendar based dApp. Right? Whatever you're trying to think of, maybe Zen is the fuel. Maybe you're just not on the right chain and you need to find your Zen chain. And there's quite a few of those. Quite a few energy portals. I don't know. As wild too. I've been working on this like Zen explanation video. That's very, very deep in explaining like the strategy behind using the Zen, and because no one's really doing that right now. And I come and go, and I don't really talk in the spaces anymore because most of this stuff I think is a high energy concept, and I don't think it's like really for everyone, because not everyone's ready to walk the path. And like eventually it'll be a hard path that most will walk on, and that's like an unfortunate event. It's like, oh shit, like they seen it forever and they never decided to walk the path. I think a lot of us have felt this burn with Bitcoin, and we don't want to feel that again. And there's too many people who are like that in the Zen world who go, I've seen this path many times and I just diverted from it, but I'm down now to walk this path. And that's kind of why it's crazy, like how real this is becoming from physical to digital. But we've seen this right here. Cypherius Prime posted yesterday or this morning. We need maybe a couple weeks of solid stability. After Al had asked him, how long are we going to test it before we all switch? So right now what's happening is the validators are starting to switch to an experimental cluster of X1 that actually has priority fees in the form of computer units. So right here, experimental cluster with free votes and dynamic CPU fees, right? So X1 is moving, but it's moving at its own pace. And that's kind of awesome when you really, really think about it, because again, when has a blockchain even been able to move at its own pace? Like, that's Bitcoin before it was a real thing, before all the noise, when it was just the people who are the most focused on bringing this technology to the reality. Now, not to the masses, but just to the reality, right? Cypherpunks fucking really take that shit, that like flag for that. And as they should, you know. Shout outs to Star Trek and my fellow classic nerds, you know what I'm saying? I think the modern day Xenian is the cypherpunk, but the one that's like speaking positivity about Zen in its worst hour and the type shit. Like, that person is probably way closer to the understanding than the person that's like, yo, did you hear about Titan X type shit out loud? Like, we're getting to that part where like, are you understanding like the type noise that you create outside of just focusing on your mints? That shit is like a gong in a giant room, bro. That's why, bro, I've been chilling. I'm on the rip right now. Shit, smash the like button for real. 0 to 1. What are you talking about? Numbers are a triple entendre. What up, Disclosure Crypto? With the same vibes. In 3 years is usually the hardest. But they say it takes 5 years to build a business. But I've been doing a lot of research. Like lately, my research has been leveraging myself into like really big group building. A lot of the group building in reality is like based in religion and shit. Not like the psychology, like how herds move. That's why it's like mad crazy, bro, that like the mind control is just out there now. Like, yeah, you could believe in a cult. Doesn't mean that you're part of it. Doesn't mean you're really in one. You can believe in it, but it doesn't mean that you're in something that practices what that even actually means. Like, we're at that level of the soil, bro. Motherfuckers are retarded. And that's why I think it's really good to be in Zen right now, because the noise is perfect. We can make memes with the Zen world and it still be beneficial to what our progress is. Like, if I made a meme where we burn CB Zen and we make banana coin, at least as long as I call the burn function, then we're still working towards the better of the future. You know what I'm saying? We're working towards the best time still. You know, and it's like once you you get outside of that framework and you start working in other frameworks using what could be these native coins, right? That could be considered a work or and like an outside extension of like extra task that you don't need to participate in, like extra time that you're missing out on type shit. So that's kind of why I've been so focused. Like, that's why I'm having fun on Solana with solXEN. solXEN is still cracking because I think it has the most or the most seasoned Zenians are in this area. And there's actually you're seeing it here on the RSI. Because it has time now. Time is with this on a chart. So we're looking at the daily. Oh, I don't have any moving averages on here. So let's decorate this real quick. I'm gonna throw some MAs. I like 3 of them, and I like to use a 200, which makes no sense right now, but fuck it. It's a good It's a good measure on going long. So it's fun to see pop up. But then my second one I like to use is a 72. Because moving averages, they're just based on days. Like think of them as days lines, or like lines or daily activity compressed into a line is a moving average. So like if I'm doing 72, that's like 72 days. So that's a little over 2 months and some change. So that kind of gives you a good window of understanding of what's going on in the last 2 months, you know. And that's why some people like the 200, because 200, or half a year, which would be like 180, I believe, is where most people make a lot of decisions because they ain't got much time on the other side of that motherfucking 200. You feel me? So I like using the 200 and the 72 to kind of tell me what's happening. And just recently, I started to move up. I've been using the 8, but I brought back the 21 because the 8 really doesn't tell me any stories. 21 is like, again, 2 weeks and a couple days. So like if we look at solXEN right now, it's underneath this 21 on the daily. So this essentially would be an accumulation area. And the same here on the RSI. The RSI, it just bounced off of the 47, but there's room for it to like find a bottom. But in fairness, that's only if people show up and sell their coins. Like if people don't unstake or they don't show up and sell their solXEN, then theoretically this is a bottom, right? Because in a fair world, there's no extra coins that can pop up out of nowhere, right? We know where the coins are going to come from, community member. So theoretically, this is ready to roll if enough attention were poured into it, right? But that's just it. The Zen world is like this weird chaotic world where like the neighbors like fight each other every fucking day for some fucking reason. So it's hard to speculate on them agreeing. It's more likely for them to disagree, and for the one to disagree the most to sell to have the most power, aka sell. You know, usually the agreeing concept is we're going up. You know, the disagreement is we're going down in a fair world. So if we zoom in on the 4 hour, right? Let's break this down into the quarters of the day. We'll start to see more lines show up here, and then we'll see definitely we are underneath here. So I just learned this thing called an FFT. Well, like fucking around with the Zen bros and the XENblocks. And I also think that it's smarter to do data based on the bottom than the top. So if we're looking at this line here, you notice that like when it's below it, if we were to like rewind time, every time it goes below it, there's been like a significant sell, right? So we're looking at the 4 hour here. This is solXEN. So even here, significant sell. So theoretically, if you are like trying to buy this thing, like this is where you buy. And you can see from the extendedness of the actual gap here, this is people selling their solXEN. This is the community coming back and selling their solXEN, and or they're mining and they're just selling it back on the market so they can keep their gas, right? Keep their fumes, which is part of the game as well. But as you can see here, all of these moving averages are starting to tangle, and I would love to see someone come and sell them, but I think people are starting to speculate on like what is going to happen next. Like what happens when the AMP goes to 0? Because in solXEN right now, the AMP is currently at 35. Right? So there's a lot of speculators, again, in the solXEN pool, showcasing the magic of Zen, which is why the fuck are people speculating on this shit ass coin? Like this coin fucking trash. But I think this is the best meta after the memes, because solXEN is also a meme. It's a meme inside of the realm of Zen, I guess, like it's on Solana. Like nobody wants to go there. That's really a meme. It's like the reason why this is about to pop off is because nobody fucking wants to go over here. And the people that are over here are getting ready for liquid staking. When you stake your soul, when you stake your Solana to X1 node and you yield XN and 8% of Solana APY. So this is where, again, like the solXEN is not even started yet. This has the ability to live a lot of DeFi on Solana when Fair Crypto is ready to turn it on. But it's just something that exists, or maybe someone else does it, right? Like maybe someone in the Chinese community decides to turn it on, right? It's literally just a dormant piece of energy, just kind of waiting for someone to turn it on. And in 35 days, when the AMP is at zero, you know, again, it could do anything it wants to do. People can show up and dump it. And then at least everyone would know, like, oh, the narrative is they can't create no more. So who cares if they dump it, right? That's kind of why some people are selling it all now, because they're like, I don't want to be selling when everybody shows back up to dump it, you know? But yeah, so solXEN is doing work. XEN right now is kind of going through it too, like where it's got like everything set up for it, you know, but it's not like it's just gonna be going through it. There's too many hands in the cookie jar over here, and that's kind of why I think like we haven't seen it rug, because those that would sell are staked, and they've put their mind in the future. So you're looking for new supply to hit the market and dump, but they have this XEN supply chart now on XenPub, where you can see, like, because of the high gas fees, there's not a lot of people claiming their XEN. And since they're not claiming their XEN, it's not hitting the market and it's not dumping. It's just slowly selling to the downside. We're looking at the monthly, but if we go to like the 1 hour, we zoom in, or we'll go to the daily, because it looks good right now. But like, yeah, XEN is trying to transform, but I mean, those Titan farms are going dumb right now, from what I hear. I haven't really been paying attention, but that's like always going to be sell pressure in our community, because it's a derivative of the community. So like, it will live there and it will be there, and it'll be like a path. Like, some people will get into Titan and be like, damn, where did this come from? And then they'll learn the history, and then they'll figure out like, oh, this didn't come first. Let me go figure out what came first. Like, where does this derive from? And that's why, again, I think like in this current age of XEN, those that comprehend the ideology of sovereign assets, or like scarcity, like if you can really understand what that is, like I think that's what is the driving force for a lot of XENians. Like, they know that this is going to be extremely scarce by the time everybody figures out about it, because we're looking for like we're looking for digital dirt at this point. If Bitcoin is digital gold, then XEN is digital dirt. And this is what you're going to need to like make cement, fucking build a skyscraper. Like, this is the material. Like, you're not building it with Bitcoin. We thought we was building it with the coal of Ethereum, but it ain't that either. It ain't that ETH shit. That EVM is not, it's not where it's at. That's why, again, I think what Solana has done is perfect to build around. And now they get to build, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, now we have this hub where everyone's built on top of, and then we move from there. And it's not like Ethereum, where you need to have the community fragment their experiences similar to like XEN. That's why Solana is doing so well, because it's outside the fragmented dome of a EVM, and it's not suffering from like the classic XEN bullshit of like every day there's someone trying to come and just sell it because that's the notion, like, you know, because it is the notion, but it's really not the notion. The notion is to pack the bag on your favorite chain. So that's why in solXEN you can't have that, because it's not part of the ideology of supply. The ideology of supply is that shit's going to zero, and maybe someone makes something to burn it. So like, that's a big speculative idea, and then maybe the burn works towards other things. Hint, hint. But yeah, so Binance doing pretty good. Avalanche is doing all right. Let's look at the makers. Let's see where the biggest makers are. So XEN, of course, on top. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how like this XEN has just been in the same zone. Damn, if you have $3,000 on Pulse Chain, you could just take the whole thing. It's not that hard. Here, let's zoom out. Let's go to a monthly. What up, Lita? What they do? I have mine on Zen Artist unmintable. I'm halfway done launching the miner in the command line. Oh shit. Yeah, Zen Artist is tight. That's what I mean. He could spin up something too. But these are attributes of true crypto. Like this idea that you could just grab it and mold, grab it and build. Like there's no incentive for anyone to have to do anything, and that's perfect. Like I even saw a tweet or a post where somebody was like, man, I'm begging for someone to just make a Zen dApp and include a percentage fee. Like I'll pay the fee. Like people are literally at a point where they'll pay a dev fee to use their Zen. So we don't even need to build that in to the behaviors. It's naturally going to happen. People are going to feel this resistance of why can't I spend this energy? Like this is some good energy. I want to spend it on something, right? I want to get rid of it in an action of satisfaction. So yeah, that's like the really, really cool thing about the Zen right now. There's a lot of builders that haven't even started. They're just building with their minds. Dude, I'm pretty sure this is where you want to be right now. That's why in P.o.P, I'm not the post chain whisperer, but I do think post chain might be around for a long time. Like it's gonna always be like there for some reason. How far does it go? I have no clue. Like I don't like October 24th is coming up, so that Richard Hart vibe is about to happen. So I guess it's really waiting to figure out what that means. But it looks like most cryptos won't be seen as securities. They might, but like it's looking like if you have the money to fight it, you might be able to just pay it off. So if that's the case, then a lot of people might pump post chain because it'll be living in that narrative of a bandit. So yeah, it's gonna be fire. I just don't have time, That's why it's like my time in this reality right now is X1 and being ready for a blockchain that moves at the speed of light and not being stuck in this reality of there's friction for computation. Like, and we have no friction. You're literally just on a raft. In Sin World, everyone is rafting and in a hammock. And I think that's powerful. Yeah, digital dirt. That's what Zen is. Get your best digital dirt. Bet on the digital dirt. Yo, I need people to keep selling CBZen though. CBZen's looking really good though. See, the problem with CBZen is you can't really do TA with the RSI to see if it's oversold or overbought, which is kind of sad. But what you can do is you can use previous history to kind of see where the ranges are. So right now there's this specific range here between 6 zeros and a 6 or 9 zeros and a 6-4 and 9 zeros and a 3-2. So when we got down here, when we were in like 9 zeros and a 1, that was pretty hard. Like you can see even the RSI showed that people had bought up a lot of supply and a lot of supply was minted. So, there really was no relief in this dump. Now, again, the only reason I can see people coming and dumping their CBZen is because they're entombed and they want to buy a bottom. But it would be in their best interest to hodl it because these zones are showing like they're becoming support rather than resistance. So you'll see here, like on this red line, the first time we came down here, we had a giant sell and it pumped off of it. So this is the support line. It's less of a resistance. When it came down again, that's where it was selling through hard. You'll see right here. Hold on, let me zoom in. So a lot of people were probably selling their bags as soon as they were mining, and we got to this area again. So then we were there for a while as people buy and sell, buy and sell. You know what I'm saying? Like you can even see it here on the RSI. The RSI all of a sudden actually has the ability to go up and over into an oversold zone. It's the exchange of hands. And that's kind of why, again, it rises this area, slowly gets into this area, and then bounces up and then has the same sideways. So this is where CBZN is. Like, this is the buy zone for CBZN. Once it leaves here, you can literally sell that shit if you want. But yeah, see right here in this area, this is where it broke down. June 12th. And in June 12th, that's when a lot of people were minting, like getting a lot of their mints. Even right now, there's a lot of people getting a lot of mints. But most of them are restaking it because we built a culture on CBZN that, hey, maybe it's smart to hold your ZEN. Maybe there's a lot of buyers down there waiting for you to sell. And then you sell your mints and now you got to come back. Right? When you already spent time in the mint, why, you know, like that's the best behavior of CBZN. It's like teaching the ethics of why you hodl. Like, you already spent the time. Like, this shit is so cheap. You go sell that shit and someone's literally waiting there. Like today, like I was like, you know what? I'm going to go and start buying it in. You know, I've been waiting to buy. And when I seen we were right here on this red line, I was like, oh shit, this is where you buy. This is where you buy this CBZN, because this is where I antagonize someone to come and sell. Because if they see me buying and they think they need to get out, they're going to dump. And then I just keep my capital coming in. This is a fun time. So I hope, you know, someone takes the bait, but we'll see if it's possible. Like if we can start a downward rally because someone wants to keep the price low. But a lot, again, the holders are growing in CBZN. It's up to 400 or 4,822 now. So that's dope. We got 10 trillion in the basket. And yeah, if you want to get into the top 10, just get $1 trillion. It's like less than $1,000. At these prices, it's like $5. Like, yeah, $500 is $544. That's all you need to get $1 trillion. And you pull a whole trillion out of here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, y'all. I'm gonna sign out right now. Watch out for CBZN. I don't know if you watch this channel and I don't ever talk about your favorite blockchain, my bad. But my theory is that these ones that we see down here, these ones will see high gains, but the problem will be getting out. The one that is the sleepy one is this phantom one, because the phantom one might rally just because there's beef now. And also it's easy to get phantom. Now, I don't know what happens when they fork the Sonic, but you know, until then, that is kind of the message. But I think that's why the price is kind of showing what it's showing. Like, people are afraid that if it forks, they're going to be left behind. Same with like XEN. A lot of people, I don't think, are buying it because they just feel like they're going to get left behind. Same with like VVZen. Like, ETH PAL is dope, but a lot of the players are people who got airdropped Ethereum PAL when the fork happened in 22. So a lot of that is just recycle trading, and that's kind of why the price isn't going crazy. But it does see good positive price action for that particular chain. So yeah, that's kind of why, like, I'm super hyper focused on these top coins, right? Anything, I guess really that's just like buy five and up, or, you know, below it, it's just like, it's really hard to just like pay attention, because it feels like even in Zen, you need to understand what is noise. And the number 12 is very powerful, right? And a lot of different things in reality, there's a lot of beginnings that start with 12. And I think, like, just looking at this list here, because this is the most current list of active Zens that people actively use, right? Like, we look at transactions, there's only 12 because the other ones, OKZen or OKXen, and then Doge Chain Zen, and then like OG Zen on Post Chain. Like, those three technically are not like they're not holding the weight of like the original notion of like this is Zen, right? They're just kind of like derivatives outside of the 12. And I think it's pretty fascinating that we happen to fall into a number 12. Like I think I hear some people out there who love numerology, but it feels like they don't know the power of numbers. It feels like they can read numbers, they can understand them, but they don't really know the power. And I think if you comprehend, or you want to go out there and look at the power of 12. 12 is a super duper powerful number. 1 + 2 = 3. So even in its own, it completes itself. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I think we've got something good going on in Zen. And this is why the frequency seems low in the mass or in the main, because we're reducing the noise. And I think that is where the most power is going to be accessed. So either you're here for it or you're wondering why I'm not talking about what I'm not talking about. Till next time. Peace.